The month we've been waiting for has finally arrived. It is November, the time of hope for all whitetail hunters. Despite our anticipation, as the calendar page flips, the first day of Holy Month is a letdown. I hunted, Jared hunted, and Owen hunted. Nobody saw anything worth writing home about. Only Lee Abraham, hoping to shoot a few does on his southern Iowa farm, has action. Not exactly deer action, but an exciting hunt.
November 1st mornings have quickly become to a coyote hunt. We had some does coming our way, and they got spooked. 2 coyotes coming through. We picked one of them off, and then the other one came back through. We picked him off.
"450 miles to the east in central Ohio, Drew McClain has dedicated his entire season to hunting one buck. A huge buck he calls Star, one that has been on Drew's farm for at least 3 years. Ignoring all other bucks, Drew makes a wholehearted commitment to use his one buck tag on Star or keep it in his pocket. Now on November 2nd, Drew heads to a redneck blind in the ongoing quest to finally get a shot at the biggest buck he has hunted in many years.
I just got settled into the blind. It's a west-northwest wind they're calling for, which would go from me back down to where we saw Star that one morning, but my hope is that he comes from my left. That's where all the major bedding is. And that's where he was in that picture on October 30th. So this is really the first year that I feel like I am hunting him. He was on the hit list last year, even though he was only 4, but never really got to hunt him because he was always, so unpredictable. Maybe we can get a beat on this guy. I don't know. I'd love to get a crack at him this morning.
As the morning wears on, the tension level rises. Star has been showing daylight activity on Drew's trail cameras during the middle of the morning on recent days. Drew hopes he will repeat that behavior today. In an effort to contain his odor, Drew keeps the blind windows closed until the last possible second.
Go down. Oh, that was Star. Thank you, Lord. He came down around. I had this doe come out. I think it's a doe or a fawn. Come out, and she was looking down that way. And I glimpsed down, and he's standing right there at 20 yards. Maybe less. But I think I just double lunged him. Oh, what a toad. Thank you, Lord. Call a family. I gotta call a family. This is so awesome. November 2nd, sweet November, baby.
Hello?
I just shot Star, babe.
You did?
Yeah.
Hello?
Smoked him, Dad.
Oh, no way.
Smoked him.
No way.
Yeah, you might want to get some old clothes on, man. I need some help. Call him Tom. Tom helped me film this thing. He's buzzed.
Are you kidding me? You got him?
You got time to track?
Are you freaking kidding me?
I got him, Tommy.
Hello?
What are you doing, man?
Just headed into the office.
You might want to turn around.
Did you shoot him?
I think I smoked him.
Oh, no way.
Dude, turn around, yeah.
Alright, I'm headed home.
Right. Alright, here's my arrow. Look at the hair. And the arrow right here. Huh?
I see a beam.
You see a beam sticking up?
I sure did.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, he's all right. Look at this guy. Oh, my. Yeah. Look at that drop. Well, guys, here he is. We got him drug up out of the brush to get a better look at him. But this is Star. This is the buck that was #1 on our list this year, and was spending a lot of time on this side of the farm. And you know, Tom and I saw him actually no more than 20 yards from when we ended up killing him on Saturday, the 27th, I think it was. And the cameras were showing him running this ridge, and then just a matter of being at the right place at the right time this morning paid off. Somehow managed to get the long window of the redneck blind opened up to get a shot. It was 17.9 yards, double lung. That's the exit hole right there, and he didn't go 60 yards and pile it up. But amazing deer. Blessed to be able to chase something like this, and it's pretty rewarding when you get to harvest one, especially with celebrating the memories of the people that you love and care about, and pretty awesome. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it, guys. Good luck out there. God bless you.
That same morning back in Iowa, Lee Abraham is hunting for his #1 buck. This is the same deer his father-in-law missed the year before, earning him the name Pop.
Alright, well, it's 9 o'clock, November 2nd. Come in here and get a little tighter to the bedroom area. We're in between 2 bedrooms and a little nice little pinch point here. I haven't seen our target buck yet, but our hopes are very high with this. With what we've seen, also it just feels better today. The temperatures are kind of falling, and it's one of those days where you want to stay here all day, and you just gotta keep your head on a swivel and be prepared. It's a beautiful bottom, a beautiful morning, and you know, it doesn't get better than this on November 2nd. Alright guys, a little update. It's 10:40, November 2nd, and we just laid eyes on our target buck, the buck we call Pop. He came out behind the doe on the edge of the plot across the ravine from us. Was staying close with her. She went back into cover. He followed her, and so now we know two things. We know where he's bedding and where she is, and that kind of gives us some ideas. We're gonna probably sit here as long as we can. We have one bag of M&Ms to last the rest of the day, but we're gonna start spinning our wheels, and we're gonna sit here as long as we can. And hopefully she'll come by. If not, we're gonna make a move and be cautious, knowing where he is and where they went back into cover, and probably where they're bedding, which is about 200 or 300 yards from where we were last night. So they're tight. Big deer, a lot of history with that deer. Cool buck. The second time I've ever seen him.
November 2nd proves to be a good morning for Jared Mills also. Hunting 60 miles to the north, he has an action-packed first hunt on a property he calls the Project Farm.
Calling in Indiana bucks. He's chasing her hard. It's getting close to 11 o'clock now, so we're gonna climb down. We still have this button buck bedded right here, but we'll just spook it and be alright. Overall, you couldn't ask for a better morning other than to see more shooters, but we just basically saw deer the whole morning, and lots of good rut action, and just an ideal November morning. So hopefully the afternoon follows suit and we have another good hunt. We got down, got some lunch, checked some cameras, and ended up getting right back in the same stand. We had intentions of doing a hanging hunt on the same pasture, just up the tree line a little bit, but I was just so worried. It was really calm, and I was worried about making too much noise. This is a calling spot in general. The chances of a buck coming right by the stand aren't great. So I figured we'd just make less noise and get back in the same stand and have better visibility probably. So we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully we can lay our eyes on a good buck. We saw some solid deer, but just no shooters this morning. Getting exercising.
After the rain moves through, the evening turns slow. Jared's hunt ends without another buck sighting. Lee is also in the tree that afternoon on his farm, hoping for another encounter with Pop.
Alright guys, it's 2 o'clock. All we've done is made a midday move for my morning set. We came back to where we were last night. We were down in this bottom this morning. We came on the east side of this food plot, climbed up as quietly as we could. The wind is now coming off my back, going down into the draw, which is advantageous for where he bedded. It's one of the reasons we didn't go out for lunch. We wanted to stay here and keep him where he was and not have him pick up our wind. We didn't prepare for an all-day sit, but we're doing what we're doing, and because it's November, and what else could you ask for?
stays out of range, and as the sun sets, darkness closes one of Lee's most memorable hunts. The next morning, 150 miles to the east, Mike Reed is sitting in a morning stand overlooking a hardwood ridge, the same area where his top buck, Curly, has been living.
Well, it's Saturday, November 3rd. It feels good to be back in the woods, and it's about 39 degrees right now. It's really quiet and still. All the leaves are wet, so can't hear much running around, but we're in here after this buck I call Curly, and he lives right here in this central timber. This central timber was underwent TSI about 10 years ago. It's really thick, great bedding, and Collins Marine actually found his shed last year as a 4-year-old, maybe 80 yards from here, in this little cedar thicket on the ridge top. And all of my cameras around this area have him. I mean, he's just on every camera right around the central timber, and so I'm very confident that this is his bedroom. We're in here a little aggressive. It's November 3rd, and just a great time to be in the woods, so hopefully here soon they'll start moving.
Though Mike sees a good buck, it is not the one he is after, and the morning ends without the hoped-for adrenaline rush. Leaving his morning stand, Mike plans to hunt a small property nearby. I am also hunting a bedding ridge that morning. Once November arrives, most of us shift our morning hunts to ridges where the does often bed. The bucks know this and cruise these areas relentlessly, often well after daylight arrives.
I'm finally in the spot that I've wanted to get to ever since I started getting trail camera pictures of that big 7 buck. This is a ridge that's straight south of our house. And as I was telling Quentin this morning, it seems like every buck that lives in this area eventually cruises through this ridge top on some morning during daylight. So if we could sit here every single morning for the next week, I believe that deer would come past within daylight. I brought in some synthetic branches this year. Last year I tried to cut oak branches and put them up here, but the leaves fell off, fairly early into the season. So this year I got some synthetic branches stuck up here, so hopefully that's enough to keep the deer from seeing us. That's the main thing with this tree. We got to keep those does from seeing us when they're cruising along this ridgetop heading back into their bedding areas. So that's the chessboard for this morning's game. I've got high hopes. I think it's going to be a good hunt. It's closing in on 11,
and the rain is starting to come down pretty good here, so I think we're going to call it quits for the morning. It was a decent morning. Not maybe quite as many deer as what I expected up here, but there was one buck that got my pulse going. When I first saw him, I thought it was a shooter. I thought it was the Big 7, but it was just my wishful thinking, because it turned out to be a nice 3-year-old is what that buck was. But we heard some grunting, we heard some chasing, and we saw a few does slip past the tree, and that's about all we could hope for. Pretty good morning.
Cooper and I are all set up for the afternoon hunt. It's a little after 4 o'clock now, and we're on a piece that's new to me. We've hunted it one time. It's 52 acres, and it butts up against nearly 1,000 acres of timber, so it's tiny, but it hunts well. I've got about 15 acres of standing corn, and we're hunting this oak tree line. It's got a bunch of scrapes, acorns. I've got like 5 different mature shooter bucks on this farm on camera. Not tons of daylight activity, but this is the time of the year where it don't necessarily matter. So I didn't have a spot I wanted to go to on the main farm, so we came in here, did a hanging hunt. East-southeast wind, that's picking up, and it's supposed to rain towards the end of the night, so excited to see what happens. Can you see him? No. Get in the buggy. Well, that happened pretty quick. Obviously, it's getting dark on us. We were just saying this, our second sit on this farm, and it's we're gonna get skunked again. And I did a little grunting and a snort wheeze just to see if there was something down in the corn there. And this big mature buck came in, and he wasn't coming to the tree, but he went up in the corn, so I did another snort wheeze back behind us. He came flying down the hill here. Obviously we had a little miscommunication, but
It's a buck I got pictures of on the last card pull. He's got a really big split G2 on the right, and he ran right up the waterway back towards the buggy. So we're gonna get down here and take a look at the arrow. Looks pretty good. Some bright red blood on it. Dang. Look at that head on that thing. He almost climbed on the bad boy buggy for us. He's only about 15 yards from it. And so we're just walking up the waterway here, and he's just laying in the waterway. So easy track job. We're gonna get back to the cabin, get the kids, and come let them follow the blood trail. Yeah? What's right there?
Blood.
What's right there?
Blood. There he is!
There he is! Good job, girl! So I want to talk a little bit about our hang and hunt strategy. You know, this farm being new to me, I don't have any sets hung up on it yet. Those of you who had followed Jared and I over the years, obviously we love to hang and hunt. We get these properties and we don't do a lot of setting of stands until we've hunted a farm for a couple years, and the strategy worked again tonight. I'm definitely a believer in, you know, your first couple hunts on the farm are often your best opportunities to get big bucks down. First deer of the year, and got a couple more tags in my pocket and ready to keep after them.
Not surprisingly, Lee was also hunting that same afternoon, hoping for another encounter with the giant 9-pointer. Though Pop did not show up, Lee knows the buck is still in the area. Hoping the deer moves on from the doe he is tending, Lee plans to return the next morning. The action we enjoyed during the last 2 days is a prime example of why we love November so much. It is not just the fact that bucks we have not seen for 11 months are once again on their feet in daylight. It is more than that. It is also the way they act, the things they do. The intensity of the bucks themselves feeds into our own excitement. Everything in the Whitetail woods turns electric now that we are once again chasing November.